Alright, step one with new rhythms. Make sure you are very comfortable in how you feel about the count. So be able to count it nice and easy before you apply the chords. It'll make things go much, much smoother for you. So here's what we have for number one at 60 beats a minute. I'll count off 4 so you know when I'm going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and done. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and done. Here's 80 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and done. 100. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and done. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and done. Got a little tongue-tied there for a sec. Oh boy. Alright, on the number 2, where the rhythm changes every bar. So, start with the count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and done. Hopefully my body noises didn't throw things off there. Alright, here, time to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and done. Here's 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3, 4, and done. 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3, 4 and 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3, 4 and done. And 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1 and 2. 3 and 3, 4 and 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 2. 3 and 3, 4 and done. Okay. So number 3, your speed drill for the week. Getting it as fast as you can. Always starting at 60 to begin things. So remember, when you get real fast, it's inevitable you will have to use the swiping technique in order to continue going faster and faster, because eventually it'll be so fast you have no choice but to hit the adjacent strings as you're going from string to string. So here we go at 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's eighth notes. 20. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm anchoring right now, because we talked about that. So, yeah, that's another thing we talked about. If you're going to anchor, it's totally fine. If it helps you play things more accurately, definitely do that. I do that for a lot of arpeggio stuff, so I'll be doing that on the next thing. But as I get faster, I won't be anchoring. I'll be anchoring with this part of my hand. Anyway, here's 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I actually do a downward pick slant at the slower speeds here. This is, I'll go by 20s now. So 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter if you do upward or downward at this point. I can be more accurate with the downward slanting at this point. That's why I'm doing that. Here's 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely swiping at that point. And 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Definitely starts to sound a bit rough when you have to start blasting through the strings there. But again, as long as you hear the notes you want to hear coming through the amp, you're good. You'll definitely hear more of the acoustic of the strings. Just bear that in mind too. You'll definitely be hearing that more and more as you start swiping through stuff. Number 4. Let's change to a clean channel and adjust this. Alright, so yeah, you can pick it any way you really want, whatever feels comfortable. So you were doing 3 downstrokes in a row and then the 1 upstroke, which is exactly how I would normally do it. So the goal here is to just get through each one of these correctly at least one time, and You know, if you got the time to do it, play each one a little bit more. If you find that you just breeze through these things and you want a little bit more, you can take the other 8 progressions that you worked on throughout the week and arpeggiate those. So just run through these at 60. And that's kind of a goal. Why don't you try doing that? Like, see if you can at least hit all these at 60. You know, get that accuracy and the cleanliness. So, as I mentioned, I'll be anchoring on this one. Almost always do with stuff like this. Like, got the pinky down on the guitar. It kind of helps keep my pick in an appropriate or keeps my pick in an optimal position, like between the string in my hand. So if I don't do it, I mean, yeah, I can, but I feel way more in control with my pinky down. Just gives me a better sense of awareness as to where my pick is. So again, having the anchor point here with my pinky gives me a better sense of awareness as to where my pinky is, or pinky as my pick is. Good Lord. Try and sound all articulate, and then I go and screw it up. Anyway, one more thing before I play to the click. So when you're changing chords, I mentioned that I'll do like one finger at a time. So I'll build it one at a time, but by the time I get to that third note, all 3 fingers are down. So this way you can continue to have everything ringing out together. So that's one thing I didn't put on the page. I didn't put the let ring thing. I'll show you what that is, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But that right there, the thing that just popped up, bloop. So yeah, the let ring. You usually see that in music stuff, tab stuff and whatnot, when you want all the notes to ring together. But here we go. At 60 beats a minute. First progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, next progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, third progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's about how they should go there. And again, if you just breeze through these, you're welcome to do them faster than 60. That's totally fine. Just the goal with this is to help you with those chord transitions, and doing the arpeggios will help ensure that everything is held down correctly. So yeah, if you breeze through these and you want to work on the other 4 progressions that you had written out for last time, have at it. And I think that covers everything. So if I forget, if I don't send you the link to those picks that I use, let me know. I'll send the link over. Yeah, I think that covers it. And I'll see you again in 1 week.